Just a quick heads up, if I at all sound a little bit funny throughout this video, it's because I'm recovering from a slight flu. Always get your shots, kids. But yeah, as I mentioned last week, no new Hugtto Precure to review, but still, I want to do at least something for this week. And while I did post the first part of my sweet Precure review, hint hint, nudge nudge, go watch the damn video, I thought we should close out 2017 with a look towards hopefully a brighter future with a series where that's actually one of the main themes. Huh, ain't that convenient? So yeah, we're taking a look at Hugtto Precure, which will likely be the second to last Precure of the Heisei era, before Emperor Akihito abdicates the throne in April of 2019.
As such, much like Kamen Rider Black, one would hope they'd be able to end this era on a high note. Will they?
Well, let's take a look at Toei's website, and yeah, these are just rough translations like what I did last year with Kira. First up, Synopsis.
A second-year middle school student named Hana Nono wants to become a super cool older sister type.
First things first, change that name. Kiara doesn't even have to come up with a funny nickname for you.
However, her first day transferring into a new school proves to be a total bust when she cuts her bangs too short and is tardy.
Tardy! What's that now?
Look on the bright side, at least it wasn't picture day.
Still, she believed that tomorrow would be better, and maybe she would even have a fantastic encounter of some sort.
And we all know where this is going.
A baby named Hugtto and her caretaker hamster, Harry, fall from the sky.
Doesn't even matter if they can fly, gravity will always be the worst enemy of the mascot characters.
Out of nowhere, a member of the Kurai Asu Corporation appears.
Kurai Asu, by the way, being a homonym for Dark Tomorrow, because these villain groups can never be subtle.
They were after the Mirai Crystal in Hugto's possession and created a monster to steal it.
So, the MacGuffins of this series are called the Mirai Crystals. Ooh, I'm already imagining the jokes they could make for the next big crossover. But yeah, seriously, I actually like that name. It at least sounds a lot better than something that was made by, like, Yagami or something.
Using her strong desire to protect Hugto, a new Mirai Crystal was created for Hana, who used it to transform into the energetic Precure, Cure Yell.
Just as long as you don't gargle most of your lines, you can call yourself whatever you want.
The Mirai Crystals themselves use a power that overflows in our world and creates our tomorrows.
I swear to God, if there isn't a villain voiced by the King of Braves this season, I will be severely disappointed with you, Precure.
The power itself is known as Asu Pawawa.
And this is what happens when you let Fozzie Bear in on the naming meetings.
If this Pawawa is taken away, then both Hugto and our tomorrows will disappear forever.
Well, I'm taking the first den-liner out of here.
In order to protect everything important to her, the curtain to Cure Yell's story has risen.
Alright, I know I might be jinxing it by saying this, but I already like the setup a lot more than Kira.
First of all, as I already mentioned, I like the name of the MacGuffin much better. Simple, yet gets the idea that it's really important across well.
And yes, even Asu Pawawa is better, as it's basically a combination of Asu, tomorrow, and power with an extra wa.
More importantly, the significance behind it is far more tangible and easy to understand why the Precure would need to protect it.
You know, as opposed to some vague energy that makes sweets tasty.
Moving on to the profiles of the Precure themselves, we first got Hana Nono. I've already mentioned her Yui level klutziness, but she's also known as being shorter than most girls her age, in spite of trying to pull the whole big sister act.
Sorry Hana, it's kind of the curse of the Precures. You're either one of, if not the shortest member of your team, especially if your teammates look way too old for their age.
Because of her clumsiness, she often fails at attempting the many hobbies she tries to take on.
Alright, so we've got yet another Precure defined by her clumsiness, but hey, at least there's a reason behind it.
She's putting too much on her plate in an attempt to fulfill an ideal that, from a practical standpoint, is far out of her reach.
In that sense, she's actually kind of an XP of one of my favorite Precures of all time. They both even have really funny sounding names.
The blue of the team is Saya Yakushiji, who becomes Cure Ange.
And yeah, I really don't see that name getting over as a Precure, even though Ange is kind of among their ranks.
Saya is the class rep of Hana's homeroom and is a very kind and angelic girl.
Yep, definitely doesn't match up with the foul-mouthed dragon-slaying chick.
Ever since she was ill, Saya has always been popular, but truth be told, she's not all that confident and has never been able to figure out what she wants to do with her life.
Whatever you do, don't drag out your story arc like a certain precocious kid did.
Wanting to become stronger, she transforms into the Precure of Knowledge, Cure Ange.
Again, those are pretty much the defining characteristics for a blue, whether it be Precure or Super Sentai. Can't really say much, just hope that it's actually executed well.
Last up, the yellow cure, Homari Kagayaki, who becomes Cure Etoile.
And Etoile, by the way, is a lead ballerina in a group, so we've basically got a ballerina magical girl, much like Princess Tutu or... Oh, yeah. In fact, her first name is just a few letters off. Let's not think about it and just move on.
So Homari is in the same class as Hana and is a very stylish, mature girl, so that means both of Hana's teammates are mature-looking young ladies.
Ooh, going by my earlier theory, Hana's pretty much doomed to be a permanent lowly, isn't she?
She used to be a star figure skater, but after a failed jump, she distanced herself from the sport. However, after meeting Hana, she decided to try her hand at figure skating again.
Alright, jokes aside, Homari is probably an early favorite for me, just based off of that backstory.
She probably took such a nasty fall that it not only hurt her pride, but likely traumatized the poor girl too.
Seriously, I've taken so many falls that you can't pay me enough to get back on the ice. Ugh.
If they build off of this right, I think they might be able to make yet another yellow who ends up stealing the show.
Seems to be their MO these days.
As for the side characters, there's not much information on Hugtto that I haven't already mentioned.
So I'm assuming she's the chiffon of this season. I've got my earplugs ready.
Meanwhile, Harihamu Harry, Jesus that name, speaks with a Kansai accent, I'm assuming to complement the chiffon of this season, and can transform into a pretty boy human form.
Again, not like we've already seen this a million times already.
So just going by this, it looks like they're going back to the roots of Precure, which I'm not against.
Just because it's been done before doesn't mean you can't bring something new and interesting to the table. As I said, it's all about the execution, which might be in good hands based off of these staff listings.
Supposedly it's going to be co-directed by longtime Precure director Akifumi Zako, who was the series director on Fresh, and by Junichi Sato, who, oh Nelly, would you look at that long filmography.
No previous Precure experience, but he has directed, let's see here, Kaleido Star, Ojamajo Doremi, Sailor Moon Classic, and the first 103 episodes of Sergeant Frog. So, yeah, I think his credentials kind of check out.
Now, I said supposedly because this was based off of listings that were only temporarily on Toei's website before they were quickly taken down, so maybe they're wrong.
But I would hope this anime would score a magical girl directing king like Sato.
They also listed the VAs. Now, Hana and Saya are voiced by relative newcomers.
I think Hana's VA's only notable role is playing one of Rio's fangirls.
But Homari is listed as being voiced by Yui Ogura.
As in Ron from Neptunia Yui Ogura? Alright, call the cops, Yellow has officially stolen the show.
Meanwhile, Harry is voiced by a veteran actress, Junko Noda, best known for playing Kitsune from Love Hina, Tatsuki from Bleach, and Vemon.
You know, the lead Digimon from the season that you've kind of been giving the shaft to lately, Toei.
Other notable staff include Yuki Hayashi composing the music for her second Precure season in a row, cause let's face it, the only good part about Kira was the music, and Toshie Kawamura of Smile and Precure 5 fame providing the character designs.
Overall, a pretty fantastic staff if this is for real.
In the end, I will remain cautiously optimistic about this season. Again, I have a lot of confidence in the directors, and the premise, while basic, is solid enough. I will hope it succeeds, because to say it's been a rough couple of years for the franchise is putting it lightly. Heck, it's coming to the point that I even find highly condensed manga stories to be far superior. At least they don't shy away from the heavier subject material and violence. Still, I believe any long-running franchise like Precure can be good again. Who knows, maybe the Mirai Crystals and their users could form better futures both in story and out.
If you have your own thoughts, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, farewell for now, my friends, and... Ooh, train's here.